You've got $50 and I've got where I would put it. Now the first thing I want to talk about are Paris Hollows. Paris Hollows are doing exactly what we expected, and that's falling down in price. If we want to look over the month span, most of them are about break even, but this is a very big discrepancy because we can see about 3-4 weeks ago, we can see a huge shoot up in price and then the slow fall off. This is exactly what we expected because we knew Paris Hollows were overhyped, but I don't think too many people thought they were this overhyped and we're going to see this significant of a decrease, but this is actually going to be one of our areas of investment in a little bit. SkinSwap is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with a free bonus for signing up with the first link in the description. They're the premier place for CSGO and Rust skins with a massive trading site and a top-of-the-line marketplace, offering you the most competitive rates out there and a massive 40% bonus when you're using that link in the description. Combine that with their top-of-the-line selling feature with many payout options and their trading feature legitimately taking you just about a minute, and there's no reason not to sign up with that first link in the description. Now, finding the best Paris investment is not the easiest, but we can look back at Antwerp. We see that a lot of the hollows did very well there, but specifically the ones with no alternatives, and that's exactly what we're going to be focusing on later for our specific investment. But as you can see right here, the ones that don't have alternatives that are borderless are ones that are a little bit unique as well. We can see exactly what happened with Antwerp when we saw massive growth there, and this is exactly the point I want to get at, because if you're investing into Paris stickers, this is probably the only way you're going to see a decent amount of profit in my personal opinion. Now, talking about the rare case market, things have not been going too well, especially in the short term here. If we want to talk about the past month or so, we've seen a pretty significant movement for a lot of cases. A lot of them went up a little bit and now they're down to maybe 10, 15, 20% higher than they were beforehand, but not much more than that for most of them. Now, this is not too concerning for me personally. We're on a long-term trajectory, and the truth is I'm actually really excited some of these cases are at this price because we're going to be picking up some. Look at the unboxing numbers. Unboxing numbers have been going absolutely crazy, and we're seeing a very big discrepancy between the active duty cases and the rare cases. We have seen a lot of people opt for those active duty cases in the recent times, and this is not something that's the absolute greatest, but I think it's something that's just kind of the turn of the market right now. People are wanting to open up these active duty cases, and once we see some of those demands shift back to the rare case market, I think it's going to be in a very good position moving forward. I actually want to focus in specifically on the weekly unboxing numbers. That's because we're at 13 million, and going back to the monthly, we were at 43 million there, meaning then the trajectory we're at for the latest weekly unboxing numbers, we would be over 50 million by the end of the month. Now, that's an extrapolation of data. I don't want to focus too deep on that, but we can see right here, the case unboxing numbers are heating up all across the board. The interesting part about this, though, is we're actually seeing a lot of people go for that Anubis collection package, probably because it's so cheap and it was actually the most unboxed thing out of the past week. Now, in my personal opinion, I think this is a very good thing, relatively speaking. Obviously, I want people to be unboxing cases because that's going to drain the amount of cases out there, but people unboxing packages are going to be very likely to move over to cases if they find that interest, which overall is a good thing for me personally, and you probably if you're invested into them. Now, as much as I love the Paris capsules, we've seen a very slight decline for a lot of these, and this is once again not too expected. If we want to talk about the state of the game, Paris capsules are the most liquid item out there, and when we start to see the player numbers decline, we start to see the interest decline, the most liquid items are almost guaranteed to be one of the first things to decline, and we're starting to see that here with the Paris. They put up a good fight, but honestly speaking, they're probably coming back down, and this is not too unexpected for me personally. With that being said, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be picking up any more of these just because a lot of them still are sitting around that 25 to 35 cent price point, so they haven't seen any massive growth. But I also picked up all the investments I wanted to beforehand, which is something I suggested to you as well. But if you do want to get back into the Paris capsule game, this is your opportunity to do so, although I would probably not suggest it at this time for me personally. Now, with the market in the current state it's in, I've got 3 different investments I think you should be avoiding at this time. The first of which is going to be the fracture case. Love the fracture case, but we all know it's just way too expensive to be investing into at this current moment, at least in my opinion. Plus, it's an active duty case, and it's probably not going to be the next active duty case moved into the rare drop pool. That's because looking at unboxing numbers, we can see the snake bite and even the recoil are less unboxed. Play skins are going to be number 2. I don't think buying into play skins right now, if you want to hold on to the play skins, is a bad idea, but if you're trying to invest into them or get a quick flip off of them, I don't know if now is going to be the time. Obviously, they're down potentially 10 to 15% in the very short term here, but I don't expect that trajectory to change specifically for these ones just based off the player count alone and the general interest of the game. I don't see this changing, therefore I don't see this as a great pickup for an investment purpose. And finally, the Anubis collection package. Now, I don't think anyone was specifically investing into this, but based off the unboxing numbers and this thing going absolutely crazy, the odds that this gets removed from the game, in my personal opinion, is pretty much zero. Valve has seen this as a major money printer, and we're more likely to see more of this than we are less of it. Now, with the current volatility of the market, safe investments might be the way to go. First of which, Stockholm and Antwerp are definitely going to be up on your list. If we want to talk about these, we can see exactly what happened to them when Paris came out. out, but they've been on a very strong path ever since then, and honestly speaking, I think they're going to continue on this strong path. We know exactly what they've got inside of them, and they're also quite developed. A lot of them, like the Antwerp Contenders, has a very good spread of a lot of different things making up the value inside of that capsule. The value on these capsules like the Stockholm and the Antwerp isn't insane in terms of ROI, but I think there's definitely some good hidden gems inside of this, and it's some of the things we're actually going to be picking up as part of today's investment. Now, we mentioned it earlier, but the current market is extremely volatile, and I want to make it very clear that the point of this investing series is to invest into these items specifically right now, but sometimes it's a little bit better to just wait, and that's something I definitely think you should take into consideration when you're watching any video, but especially this one. The market is right now on a little bit of a downtrend, and we don't know if it's hit the bottom yet. We don't know if the bottom has already passed us, but it's something I definitely think you need to take into consideration when we're looking at a lot of these investments that I love, like rare cases and all of this. I definitely think you should be considerate of the fact that right now specifically might not be the best time to buy, but that's the point of this video. Now, first up here, we're going to be investing into some Paris stickers, specifically the ones without alternatives, as we can see right here, and the first one's definitely going to be that Monty glitter. I think it's such an interesting sticker, the fact that it has the Ukrainian flag on it, but also the fact that it's got a very unique look that you can't really find anywhere else. Combine that with the fact that Monty is a decently popular team, I think this one definitely has a strong chance at success. The second one is going to be the Fnatic glitter for a couple different reasons. First of which, it's got the hollow, which is already extremely expensive, but it had a lot of demand at that extremely expensive price point. Second of which is it's got, relatively speaking, no competition. The only competition comes from Cattle 14 in the borderless format, and I think this one's got a very strong chance to have a very successful life. Number two is going to be the revolver case. Now, I talk very highly about the revolver case, but there's a couple specific reasons. First of which is this one is almost down market proof. Now, what do I mean by that? If we want to look at what happened previously when the market went into a little bit of a pullback, the revolver case was the first to go ahead and recover from that, and it's been on a very strong trajectory ever since the announcement of CS2. It hasn't really dropped any value at all, which is considerably different from a lot of these cases, even some of the rarer older ones, which we commonly talk about, similar to this one too. I really like it, and I think it's a very strong path moving forward. Third up, I'm going to go in with the Antwerp Contenders. I really like this capsule when we're talking about Stockholm and Antwerp. I honestly see the most promise out of this one out of all of them, and that's because specifically the makeup of this capsule. It's got a lot of different expensive stickers inside of it, which is something that I particularly look for. It's not going to be the most profitable today or tomorrow out of all of these investments, but when we're talking about a longer period of time, these capsules tend to do really well as long as the demand keeps up for those specific stickers, which I'm highly confident it will, considering a lot of the stickers inside of this are unique ones with no borderless alternatives. Lastly, we have the Prisma 2 case. I did once again a little bit of an investment into this one just because we see a lot of people flocking into this one in terms of unboxing numbers, and when we see a total increase of unboxings, I'm hoping that a lot of people are going to flock to this one in the near future. Right now, it's just barely on top, and I think it could be doing much better. But that's pretty much all I got. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.